never seen one. You ain't really about it, I can see it through the screen, son. Taking lemon lane.
Music licensing reimagined.
My opponent's never on it. I ain't thinking about tomorrow, only thinking about the moment. Feel the rush from the buck jump. 20s in my loaded trunk. Watch me make another hit. Yeah, I'm tripping off that funk jump like you want it. My opponent's never on it. I ain't thinking about tomorrow, only thinking about the moment. Feel the rush from the buck jump. 20s in my loaded trunk. Watch me make another hit. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, I'm tripping.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Gassert.
Hey man, I was tripping on that or something.
I was getting into it. I was ready to dance, but I don't dance, so I don't.
That's cool. It's a little bit different, yeah. Get the blood and everything flowing out here.
It's too hot to dance here.
I know. Yes, if those of you don't know it, Tom is in the land of Wisconsin. Let me see if I can say that name right. Oconomowoc? Am I close? Or
you sit right on, bud. Right on.
Hey, and I'm here at Peachtree Corners, Georgia. And as they say, peachiest place on the planet.
Constant city with 5 O's in it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Try to spell it, Mark. I like to see you spell it.
What's that? Oh no, I'm gonna have to Google that bad boy. There's no way I'd.
It's a mouthful. Oconomowoc, yeah. Oconom.
Bunch of vowels.
OWOC, yeah. All O's, 5 O's in it.
Yes. Tremendous.
Yeah. Beautiful community. It's where the Wizard of Oz was featured.
Yes.
They have a big festival. They close off downtown, put up a big movie screen, and people come down, sit in the street, and watch Wizard of Oz.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, they got statues around town of all the characters of Wizard of Oz, and yeah, it's a big deal.
Now that's an interesting subject matter, So, I mean, here in Georgia, in Metro Atlanta, or anywhere you go, you will see Peachtree Corners, Peachtree City, Peachtree Road, Peachtree Street. I mean, it could go on and on and on.
Well, isn't Georgia known for peaches?
Oh, absolutely. You're Georgia peach, so, yeah.
Wisconsin cheese.
Yeah, man. How about
That's
that?
Cheeseheads. That's cheeseheads. So it's been a couple weeks since we've been on live together. So how you been? What's been up?
I've been doing great. Got away for a little bit. It's crazy. I'm going to say this, and those in Georgia know what the drill is. Right now, high school football's in full tilt as far as practice. And as we go onward and upward here, this summer's on the downward spiral, Tom, because in about 2.5 weeks, school's going to start here in Georgia, pretty much in the Metro Atlanta area. If you take the different various counties of whether it's DeKalb, Gwinnett, we could go on and on and on. I don't want to bore you with all that, but yeah, it's kind of wild that we're on the downward side. So for all those that are enjoying your drives, your commutes, get ready because, in about 3 weeks, I'll round it off. You'll be back to fighting that traffic in the morning to and from work. Robert Brooker.
Yes. How you doing, Robert?
Oh, Canada in the house. Yeah.
Thanks for being here today. Our faithful from, as we say, up north. We're heading up north.
Right. And Robert, I can't remember how Canada did in the World Cup. We know how the USA did. They bit the bullet last Monday, and they're out of it. Belgium put it to them. So I don't know. I think you guys might have gotten bumped as well. I don't even know. I woke up, so I qualified to feel blessed to be here. Hope you're feeling the same. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Be grateful for today.
Yeah. On another subject matter, since I'm around that age, Lindsey Graham, how about that? As we say in a nice way, he packed it in, but he's no longer on the planet. He's unfortunately he passed over the weekend. It's kind of a shame.
Yeah. Pretty.
So it really is.
Yeah, I always like Lindsay. He's a straight shooter and
Right.
conservative.
Yep. He did some time in the Air Force and, served his country that way. And then he got into politics.
Yeah, as an attorney, I think too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, aren't most of those guys attorneys that are, and
That are cartel members. I don't know, one of the two.
it's kind of wild what they do. Just keeping up with it, man. But it's neat stuff. I mean, it's a shame that's happened. And it'll be interesting, politically to see what happens. See if we get a younger person in office.
Isn't 71 young?
I guess so. I mean, I'd like to see someone in their 40s or 50s, someone that's got a handle on what's going out there. Not that things are horrible, but as we all know, some people do not like the current administration, And
I don't think they really dispute what he's accomplished. They
Right.
just don't like the orange hair or some crazy reason.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll let that one go. But it's if
At least he
you're-
has some hair, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. He's probably
He's
got
got
more
some
than
balls too.
Yeah, yes, he does. He's not afraid to speak his mind, as we all know.
Yeah.
We could go from everything out there that's happening in this world today. I got to throw this one in here, like the Caitlin Clark show and what's going on with the Fever. I watched a little bit of their game last night, and Sophie Cunningham and the rest of their teammates, they had a field day, man. They were hitting Jays all over the place. It's interesting to see how the league is handling her particular situation, the WNBA. So it's crazy,
Yeah.
You can be jealous of someone, envious of someone. That's your prerogative, I guess, if you want to be that way. But I think you ought to look at things from a different perspective, man. I mean, people are checking out the WNBA, and if it's because of a certain person, don't get all wound up about it, Nobody's disputing the fact, by the way, and I'll shut up, that those before her, yes, you have done a lot for the league. There's no two ways about it. You absolutely have. But right now, it is what it is. It's no different from the Michael Jordan era, when he was in there doing his thing. I think Canada did all right considering we're not a big soccer. I thought you would be, Robert. I did watch a couple games when I was on vacation. I thought Canada looked okay, but yeah, I've heard it said to remove potential conflict, to focus on public policies that are beneficial or not, instead of pointing fingers. There you go. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that's a good point. I think it's kind of funny. I call it the blame game. If things aren't going your way, then we blame. And
Well, it's okay to blame, but I think when you go after people's character, try to get sassy.
Yeah.
That's get to the state of the issue. Find out what's in common ground. We got somebody, Bryce.
Grandison. All right. Hey, Bryce, what's up?
Thank you for joining us.
Haven't seen and heard from this young man in a while. Actually, I have. If you follow social media, you will see things popping all over the place from a real estate perspective. So he's out there doing it. Back in the day, I'll steal a phrase. When I see younger people, I always say, "Rumble, young man, rumble." And he's doing it.
Yeah. Quite impressive, talented young man. Yes.
Yep. We've had him on here talking about his business and what he's doing, and you are more than welcome to come back and pontificate the finer points of what's going on out there in the world of real estate. And I know, yeah, he says, always appreciate your support. Well, no worries. Glad to give it out there.
Yeah, we
Love to
thank
be
you for
your
sharing.
age, my friend. Tom and I
Hey,
would love to be your age again.
I don't know about that, but I don't want to be 76 again, so
Yeah, well, that's true.
which I won't be. But yeah,
But that's the kind of the neat thing of what's going on in the world today. There's a lot of younger people out there that are doing their own thing, and I applaud that. That's very cool.
yeah.
You got corporate America. I don't even know what's going on out there with. I always hear this word culture. They throw that word around a lot, and it's just different. You know, some people are into it, some people aren't. Kind of what you talked
We're all
about.
involved in culture one way or the other.
Right. Absolutely, Tom.
But with the American culture, there's some common threads throughout, and then
Sure.
there's segments of our culture that we can't identify with because of maybe ethnicity or faith or whatever the case may be.
Oh,
So
absolutely. Yep.
yeah, so
And I think the best. I always try and say this. I like learning from other people, and I consider the day a total loss if I don't learn something new.
well, speaking of learning something new, you don't need but AI nowadays, right?
Oh, good Lord. Man, it is lighting up out there. I'm sure Bryce could share that too. Bryce, I know you're going to sell all these homes through AI and you will not engage with a human being. I have heard that using this bad boy right here, it's a telephone. You're wrong if you do that. I have heard that if you go to a trade show, they're dead. Um, should I keep going on? I guess what sporting events are going to start doing, since I love baseball, we're going to start playing virtual baseball games, and have fictitious, situational baseball, and I know we have fantasy football and all that fun stuff, but it's kind of crazy what's going on out in the real world. But those are things I hear. I listen. I don't judge, but there are gurus out there that their claim to fame is that they can help you tear it up, and even on your fundraising program that you're doing, Tom, they could help you, create thousands and thousands of contacts and thousands of dollars, I guess. But I don't know how y'all feel about that. Anybody got an opinion? Bryce, Robert, anybody else listening want to chime in on that? The world of AI, where we're going, where we're at now and where it's going to take us. Do you think it's a good thing, bad thing? Is it a
But
tool?
I tell you what, we're using AI every minute of the day and not even
Yeah.
aware of it. You take your phone, you got GPS on there, so you go to Google Maps or whatever. What's getting you from point A to point B and letting you know there's a cop in the area and all that's all artificial intelligence. So
Right. Yeah, kind of different. Kind of different.
even right now, my phone's sitting here, it's on, and who knows who's listening behind the scenes here, right? But yeah, are you using any AI at all, Mark, in what you do day to day, or
I do, but I use it as a tool. I still pick up the phone and call people. I know there are programs out there that you can generate it calling for you or even answering your phone for you. Um, I just don't know about all that. I like to engage with face to face or even mammal to mammal or person to person on a phone. I'm not knocking it. Some people, it just depends on your. Can you hear that in the background?
yeah, what's that?
That's thunder, man. It's coming down hard. Bryce is probably getting it too. It's all of a sudden the bottom fell out. But all I was going to say is some people, it's more than a tool. It's a crutch. It's the way they're going to do business. And I have been learning my AIMNOPS. LMNOPS. Okay. Yeah, and I think it's good to learn about it and use it. I, I'm not against that.
I use it to correct my spelling when I'm writing
Right.
something, you know, or my grammar, you know. So
And you can use it to send out messaging, different type of branding or messaging. And I don't think that's a bad thing as long as you're involved in it. But just to totally turn it over and say, hey, do this. I know people use ClickFunnels, which I think is a good thing as well. Landing pages have been out there. People in manufacturing industry, people that fix up your house as far as gutters, roofing. That's what they're doing. That's a form of it. I think that's fine. But at some point, you're going to have to talk to a person. And I don't know how you feel about it, Tom. I know talking with my son, kids today want to use their laptop, iPhone. They don't want to use this thing here, a pen or a pencil, and actually manually write things down on paper. Not saying all high school kids are that wired that way, but majority of them, that's what they're into. Get an
there's a
app.
lot of research about he who writes.
Right.
This is the path. This is your genius, your writing, and how it rewires your thinking and how it works versus electronically taking notes or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Yeah, the pen has power beyond what we really know. It really helps wire our brains to be more creative, all those type of things. So,
Right.
but yeah, I'm being exposed in my new business venture, Beyond Your Mind's Eye, my art stuff, my photography art, and they're setting up. Well, they I don't know how they've created a whole marketing platform, so that different days of the week, certain things go out automatically to Facebook and my Instagram,
Sure.
emails, whatever. Somebody comes to the website, they get on a capture page or whatever. They automatically be that's typical, be triggered to thanking them and they're exposed to my new work and that type of thing. And
oh, absolutely.
yeah, so it's going to be an automated system. I can go in and modify it, put up images I want to. Hey, my new image of today is, and show it.
Sure.
And, it'll put it out to the social media posts and my accounts and that type of thing. So it's pretty intense. I was a little intimidated when I did an orientation with my marketing specialist at Art Storefronts, but
right.
It's going to make things easier. They've already created the content. This is a company that's been marketing for artists and photographers. They know what works, so I'm plugged into what works. And one of the key things that I'm doing a little bit differently is that I'm implementing it's a marketing strategy, but it's also a philanthropy strategy.
Right.
Profits to give. People like to do business with people that have a cause, knowing that if they buy something from you or a service from you, that they know that you're in alignment with maybe similar causes or willing to support those causes. So I will be donating a percentage of all my gross sales to a nonprofit here locally. I'm going to start with a local nonprofit, and they have a lot to gain from it. So they'll help in the marketing and spread it throughout the community. And they're, so I've done well in my careers, put that way. I've had many different careers. I've had the traditional jobs and different career paths and been in business for myself since got to think for a moment here, Mark. Since 1980, 1983, 78, 82, 83.
Right.
I switched from taking a career path as a union officer in the Teamsters just couldn't buy into the collaborative corruption. It wasn't. It's like when I was going to become a police officer, it wasn't the right fit for me. So,
Were you thinking about becoming a police officer?
Yeah, I majored in college, criminology and police science,
Wow.
and I was a reserve officer for about 9 months, where I got in uniform in a car with a full-time officer and learning the ropes and all that type of stuff.
Cool.
And I recognized this wasn't for me. I was still young. I had a hot temper back in the young days.
What made you not?
That would have got me in trouble, and me
Right.
being aware of that, I would then have become too passive. That would have got me in trouble and hurt.
Right.
So I just couldn't shift out the
Right.
dynamics of what you see and how people are to you as a police officer.
What made you not want to do that, Tom? I mean, was it like right when you got in the car or riding around? Did
No,
you
just
like?
different incidences as day to day, everything. I was in the
Right.
community. It was between Oakland and Berkeley.
Oh my God! Between
And-
Oakland and Berkeley,
Yeah,
that's pretty
a
tough.
small affluent community. And when people say cops shouldn't profile, they profile all the time. You look like a duck, you walk like a duck, you're a duck.
Yeah.
So here, Oakland is a known bad community for crime.
Right.
Berkeley as well. So the criminals are going through Albany to get from back home or whatever, and
Right.
a small community in a big metropolitan area. But the cops know who should be there and who shouldn't be there. They know,
Right.
and so we did a lot of profiling and a lot of pulling over and just yeah, it was an interesting thing, and didn't have anything really violent happen. Things I hated were the domestic abuse, domestic.
Right. I can imagine that's kind of rough.
People are drunk. People they're wacky,
Right.
man. They're nuts, man. I tell you, when people have emotional issues going on, you don't know what's going to happen next.
Right.
And
My uncle was a police officer, so back in the day, yeah,
it takes a special person, temperament to be able to deal with that. And I'm glad I gave it a shot. My best friend in high school ended up becoming the police chief of San Francisco. So I can take credit for him becoming a police officer, because we had an opening in our enrollment in classes.
Right.
And he had an opening, and I said, "Why don't you take criminology with me?" And because it's transferable unit and all that good stuff, what he needed as far as units. He said, I don't want him to take it. He couldn't find a class that fit his needs, so he took criminal law with me. And next thing, he's all gung ho. He went all the way. He went to UC Berkeley, took criminology there. Got hired on in San Francisco Police Department. Worked his way up the ranks. Eventually became the chief of police. And under Willie Brown. You remember Willie Brown?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. And he probably worked with Kamala Harris too when he was a chief.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so it was. I can take some credit there, but unfortunately, he passed away here about 10 years ago, 7 years ago. So.
See, now those type of jobs, carpenter, police officer, firefighter, EMT. I don't think AI is going to replace them. Perhaps versus someone that answers the phone, a receptionist, or an admin, possibility there. Entertainer. I mean, there are people right now, there are groups out there via AI, and people are writing music right now through AI, which, I've heard it. A friend of mine put together a country tune. It's kind of interesting. It took him a little while to do it, but that's pretty cool. I don't think we'll have an AI military. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, but I think
Oh, I think we're already set with drones, and there's going to be
right.
robotics. There's going to be
Not that
robotic
we're not going to use the
soldiers out
tool.
there.
Right.
That type of thing. That'll be all AI.
Sure. Sure.
But controlling activities. That's if there's going to be war.
And that's a good
Put a
thing.
put a machine to damage you, right?
Right. That's a good thing. But I mean, if you're going to fly from point A to B, I mean, you got to actually be in some sort of craft to get there, or whether you're going to sail somewhere. I don't think you can take an AI cruise, or I always kid about that, or I have yet to see anybody start a fire through AI. So if that happens, start a fire. Like we were kidding one day about Boy Scouts getting a merit badge. Oh, I went on an AI camping trip. Oh, really? You could probably create it, but it's not going to, Lord knows there's enough AI stuff out there as far as you see animals coming up to human beings and, all that other fun stuff. But I'm just saying, if someone figures out a way where AI can start a fire and you let me know, I'd love to see it, be in the woods and say, okay, I'm going to create a fire. And
well, yeah, you take these electronics, there's electricity going through there. I'm sure you could probably program it to overheat and start a fire in an office someplace,
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
but I don't think we'll get away from like I said, police officers or firefighters or EMT.
No way.
We're going to need those type individuals. Those posts I make for neural entertainment, I use AI for. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with using something as long as it's not you, as far as the message you're like an AI bot or something.
Yeah, so we've all been affected by AI on a daily basis, not even aware of it. Do you have, what do you call those things? You talk to it and it turns your radio on and stuff. What's that called?
Oh, Siri or something like that?
Siri
yeah, those kind of scare me because your conversations are being monitored. I mean, I don't care what they say. And here's something you might be into. I got a pair of bone conduction headphones the other day. I love them. I've heard those are pretty good, Robert.
What's that? A pair of bone conduction?
Yeah, in other words, they don't go in the ear. They set like above the ear, and it enables you to hear better. Correct me if I'm wrong, Robert. And the treble, the bass, it's very distinct as far as the sound quality. Some people swear by it.
I've never heard of it. It's new to me.
Yeah,
I learned something today. Hey, I've had a successful day. I learned something.
There you go, man. There you go. But I mean, there are so many things out there. I mean, if you were to, and I think when I was on vacation, I was just like looking at things like, my goodness, there are so many like products and services that you can provide. Yeah, exactly. That's what it enables you to do. And he's spot on there. So like when you're running or walking, all right, Eric, Master Bam. I want a pizza right now. I'm thinking pizza.
So, hey man, I totally dominated today.
Well, tell us how you dominated.
Was it AI assisted or was it all on you, buddy?
That's kind of what we're talking about, Eric. I saw your post, by the way, this morning when he was live, but I always can't stop and make comments, Eric. But I do see you out there. The world is seeing you out there, my friend. But that's a good point. Or can you hit a baseball through AI? Can you pitch through AI?
I don't think, but I is, this kid here in Milwaukee, speaking of baseball,
right.
Mizorowski.
Yes.
This guy's got over 100 fastball strikeouts than anybody in the history of the game.
Yeah, that's
And
incredible.
he throws up. I mean, he threw 105 miles an hour the other day, a strike. Mark, you see these pictures, right? What's the fastest pitch you've probably seen from these young people?
You
know, you're
85
yeah, you see those
at like 15, 17,
they're throwing 80s, right? Maybe a top guy might hit 90, right?
Right.
You don't realize how fast it is. Right?
Oh, it's a good thing when as long as the catcher catches it, that's what we always say. Hey, it's not how fast it is. It's the guy in front of you. Can he catch that? Can he handle that? Can he handle it along the way or bounce, or will they plop and flop in front of the plate and block with their body or get out of the way and then you get whacked or, and sometimes that does happen, or miss it. It'll go off the tip of their glove into your chest. That's not too bad.
I'd like to sometimes stand in a batter's box and somebody throw 100-mile at me.
Yeah.
Not at me.
Yeah.
Over the plates and see if I could even get close to timing to hit it. That would be interesting. Not at 76. I don't think I have that reflex anymore.
Okay, and I'm going to read here. He says, life hack. This is from Eric. If you want to up your productivity, rearrange your office different. That's true.
New vibe, new energy.
Right. Set it up differently. And he goes, bam, AI. Yeah, I get you. And we're not knocking it. I think it's a great tool. Again, I always say this operative word, tool.
Yeah, you can't get away from it nowadays. It's everything that we do, from your GPS to your audio on your phone. Like when Kath and I do our finances, she wants to make sure my phone's off.
Does she really? No, that's not a bad idea. I mean,
yeah. People, government only needs to know what I give them, right?
I love it.
They don't need to know the nuances of my life. So,
yeah.
But I do pay my taxes. I've always paid taxes. I've paid a lot of taxes, by the way, and
right.
Don't regret it. People says, "Well, gee, that's a problem." No, it's not. The more tax you pay means the more money you make. That's the bottom line.
Well, it's probably a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing. So, but this attack on millionaires and billionaires,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
they're the ones that make this world go around.
Yeah, I mean, whether you like them or not, they're the ones that are creating a lot of opportunities for people out there in the workforce.
Well,
So,
Elon Musk, look at how many jobs he's created.
yeah, we could go through a lot of different people here.
Yeah.
We'd be doing it. Even the guy that's sitting in the White House, he's been known to create a few opportunities for individuals.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I know you and I spoke earlier today. I was really shocked. I think, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. It just came on the news, about Lindsey Graham, and they were really getting into it. So I'm sorry to hear about that. South Carolinian. There's another good guy we lost. So, but.
We got a lot of new good guys coming up the ranks. So.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking forward to see how things are going to be different, change. Politically, socially. Who the up and coming leaders are going to be. That's going to be kind of wild. Because there's a bunch of them out there. We just don't know of them, but they're out there waiting to get their chance.
We just got to make sure people are aware that social Democrat is not a Democrat. Bottom line, they're communists. Being helped out like it is. We'll probably get kicked off here, but Yeah, we're in a pretty precarious place. People need to understand. They talk about Trump being a tyrant and a dictator and a king and that stuff. Take a look at socialism and leaders of socialistic movements and communism.
That's true.
Yeah, communists are responsible for more deaths on Earth than any one political entity. Hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah.
When you look at history, and nothing's going to change. Oh, we can do it a better way, they say. They just didn't do it the right way. But anyway, that's here nor there. But AI,
catch it,
hit it, start the fire. But yeah, it's
What do you think of this? Now, some of these guys, you mentioned something here, and I often say about the two-party system. What do you think FDR, and I'm talking about Franklin Delano Roosevelt, if he were to come back and take a look at his party, what do you think he'd say? What do you think? What do you think Harry Truman would say?
Wouldn't recognize it. They're more in line with the right.
Right.
That we have today. So it's
Jimmy Carter, John Kennedy. I'm curious even to see what both the Clintons think about it today. Taking a really hardcore look at it. What do you think about how things are developing?
Well, Hillary say she got the election stolen from her, so that won't change. But
oh my.
I couldn't imagine her or Harris dealing with Iran. Put their hijabs on and go over there and negotiate. No, they'd throw them off a building. They have no respect for women whatsoever. Those Muslim countries.
You do know that we are still giving funds directly, indirectly, as far as dollars and cents in support to Ukraine. And these are some of the issues right now, I guess, Tom, that are coming up with our country, how much we're helping others and how, in terms of tax dollars, what that takes and how long is it going to continue? And now, what we're involved with right now, trying to get control of what's going on in our world so it remains safe.
Well, I look at it this way. If there isn't somebody to offset the left's motives, we'd all be in trouble. So the tax dollars don't bother me. It's a small price to pay for the freedom and liberties that we have. So I have no problem whatsoever with our military spending and that. It's where it gets me is this stuff where, what do you call it? Oh, there's all sorts of needs out there, but they set up these nonprofits or whatever, and they're being scammed out of the money, millions and billions of dollars.
Well, that's true. Where does the money actually go to that organization? That's a nonprofit. And does it wind up in the coffers? Actually, on either side of the fence, which is wrong. Does it politically wind up somewhere else that you and I have no idea about? So,
yeah,
kind of like it's analogous to how politicians can start out their careers and after 20 or 30 years, they're millionaires plus. And how does that happen? So it's just
we all
something.
know how that happens. If you do this for me, I'll do this for you.
Oh my.
Check your mailbox. There'll be 2 tickets to the Bahamas, right?
Oh, I get it. So you're talking about, people helping each other out in, financially or
well, I call it collaborative corruption.
Yeah.
I saw it when I was a Teamster contract negotiator with Safeway Stores, one of the largest grocery chains in the world. And what I witnessed as a shop steward and a union representative on the contract, what was negotiated and what were the motives. There was many times they were the collaborative corruption on both sides, trying to get something. Just the language sometimes has an economic. When I went to Cal Berkeley, I took labor economics. It wasn't the cost of benefits and that. It was analyzing language has a dollar and cents value.
Sure.
How do you analyze that in your contract negotiation as a monetary leverage? Because language has power or no power. And usually the power means who's getting the money, who's getting the benefit of the dollar being spent in wages.
Right.
Or the services rendered by the workforce. That's all in language. That all has money power to it. And I didn't realize that, but it was a pretty intense course I took at UC Berkeley. And
I won't hold that against you, Berkeley, but
well, we had grunts like me, just labor guys, against business majors getting their master's degrees. And we had a mock contract negotiation with realistic companies, history of income and this and that issues and arbitrations and things about these two companies. We were evaluated by, we beat the masters, people that had master's degrees in business and contracts.
Sure.
Here I'm, a grunt, cross my picket line, I'll flatten your tires type guy. So, you're laughing.
No, I'm not, because I've dealt.
I was on a 6-month strike one time, and I was thrown in jail
right
for union activities.
You
What's
were
that?
talking about politics. I just thought I'd share this. I was just curious. You got my interest level up. And a U.S. senator today, their salary in 2026 is $174,000. A Senate majority leader makes $193,400. A Senate minority leader makes $193,400. President pro temp of the Senate makes the same amount, $193,400. Speaker of the House, $223,500. That doesn't include their office, their staff, their budget, and everything else. But I just thought I'd share that.
Yeah.
That's pretty, so that's pretty hefty. Don't you think? That's not too shabby. I mean,
Plus perks and per
did you
diems
say
and
perks? You mean these people get perks too?
they get per diems and airfare and all that stuff flying on the dollar or the taxpayer.
Have you ever been in line at airfare and you're changing your flight or something, and these people that are political, do you know what happens on some of these commercial flights, which I can truthfully attest it happened, and I didn't make a big deal about it, but they all of a sudden miraculously move to the front of the line and they're boarding the plane, regardless of how big the line is.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
I'm just saying, I'm not complaining. It's, so, and that's on both sides of the fence. Doesn't matter what party you are.
Don't you know who I am, right? That thing, right?
I've seen that done way back in the day when we had, I'm going to date myself, when the Democratic Convention was in Atlanta. I will never forget, and I happened to be right there. And what you just said, Ann Richards from Texas, she was a Democrat, obviously. She actually said and made that statement. Do you know who I am? Because they couldn't let any more delegates in the facility. It was tapped out. I don't know how they did it, but I'm sure she probably got in.
Yeah, I remember training when I was an officer, reserve officer, police officer. We had training specifically on how to deal with, do you know who I am? Or you pull somebody over and in their wallet there's a badge there or identification, whatever. How do you deal with that? We had training on that, and because
What do you tell them? Do you say, hey, that's a nice badge, or?
you just acknowledge, oh, so and so from so and so. You were doing 65 and a 35. Let's get this handled and get it over with. But don't you know who I am? I don't care who you are, really. Basically, you don't say that, but you just proceed with acknowledgement and say, by the way, I pulled you over for X, Y, and Z. I'm going to write you a citation. You can dispute the charge in court. It's plain and simple. Your badge didn't buy you an out.
That's crazy.
But
crazy.
But I know it works. Some people, I've had stories of police officers that have used it and got away with it. And I think in some jurisdictions, it's even a crime to do something like that.
Really? Yeah. Crazy. Yeah. Well, I say pay it and get it over with, and just admit you messed up, and But some
or have one of those Facebook scenes on the phone, right? It pulled me over.
well, people, you mean like video their situation, or yeah, that's true. Could be worse.
It gets worse. What you see on Facebook and stuff. How people are reacting.
Right.
Trying to justify why they're not going to cooperate with. Get out of the car, show me your driver's license, and all that type of stuff. Yeah. It gets heated quick.
Yeah. I mean, for a simple traffic stop, there's no need to lose your cookies. But yeah, I've seen people do it. They get all wound up, and like you said, why? It's just not worth it. Stay calm, be polite. I always do. Even though the last ticket I got, this was actually a state trooper. He wasn't very nice, but I told him, hey, continue to have a fantastic day, officer. Appreciate your cooperation and your positive input. He just kind of did a double take when I said that, but I was very calm. What could he do? No. He probably looked at me like, he's like, well, just want to make sure you're aware of how fast you're. I said, I totally get it. And now I just smiled and said, have a great one. But, they do take abuse. They get to hear all the fun stuff. That's why I asked you. I couldn't picture you being a police officer. I know I wouldn't want to do it. Of course, I guess I just bring this up. People look at us that umpire. They think we're nuts. Because when we ask for volunteers or people that are interested, it's not no, but Tom, it's like, hell no, I don't want to do what you're doing out there. I'd kill somebody, But you just got to maintain an even keel about it, because you're going to get abuse.
Yeah. Well, one good thing I got out of police science is I competed in pistol competition.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. And quite interesting seeing some of the quality people out there. We were collegiate national champions.
Nice.
Yeah. So that got a big recognition for that. But learned how to shoot. I tell you what, shooting a pistol and trying to hit something is not as easy as people think it is.
No, with a pistol. Oh, man.
This is revolvers. This is before they had 9mm and all that type of
Right.
stuff. And so I shot competitively in college, and we were collegiate champions, national champions. We used to shoot against police academies, and police. California CHP had a team.
Oh, cool.
These police competitions. I tell you what, Mark, you've seen those silhouettes, the body silhouettes.
Yep.
You got a 10 ring. It's about this big, and then you have a 10X ring inside of it. These guys, and when you shoot a competitive round, you're shooting 60 rounds, 600 maximum points. These guys are shooting the 10X ring out. You couldn't even tell. I mean, every shot went right through the same hole. Amazing. shooting from here
Wow.
from 7 yards back to 75 yards.
They just kept heading the same spot.
Oh yeah,
No.
they didn't miss bullseye. They didn't miss any bullseye.
Wow.
Yeah, they may get a 9 once in a while and shoot a 598 or something, out of 600. Distinguished masters, those guys were. I used to shoot about 570s, 580s out of 600 consistently.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tom, just as we're talking here, and we're going to get it back on AI here again. I just thought about something. You talked about business, like what you're using it for, automated, repetitive, administrative work. I mentioned that, or drafting emails, proposals, reports, using it as a tool, and that's just touching the tip of the iceberg. Healthcare, it's being used. Summarizing patients' records, accelerating drug discoveries, personalized treatment or recommendations, and education, explaining difficult concepts. I wonder if that includes behavior. Learn new languages.
What scares me is people get on here and ask, they got a runny nose and they put symptoms in, they come back with
Yes.
all sorts of diagnostics, and then they go to the doctor. I've got X, Y, and Z. Give me the drugs.
Yes, they want to tell the doctor what to do.
Yeah.
And like in sales and marketing, which is kind of what you're doing with your mind's eye, research prospects, prepare for meetings, personalized outreach, everyday life, voice assistants, email, spam filtering, navigation apps, and it goes on and on. Like you said, we're using it more than what we think we are. Government and defense, cybersecurity, intelligent analysis, fraud detection, public services, emergency response, and last but not least, national defense. So there you go. It's being used as we're speaking to keep us safe.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see where this all goes 20 years from now.
Well, 20 years from now, I'll be looking down saying, "Hey, it's
I
going
know.
good. It's
I
going
know.
great.
I know. I hear you.
I'm blessed. If I have 20 good years in me, that would be a blessing."
And Robert says here, they're watching everything. Yes.
You got that right.
They are. They are, my friend. Oh.
Well, Mark, I know you got places to be and things to do, and you're doing a 3-2 step or whatever, a 2-3 step, or what are you doing tonight?
2-2. It's a new type dance they're working on, so it's definitely different.
Well, take a video. Have somebody take a video and play it on here.
Well, I will. I'll have to send it to you.
Put it in and let AI create it.
You know what? Yeah.
You could do that. You could take a picture of you dancing and say, "Do the 2-step" or whatever it is. And
I know.
And it would take you and put you into motion. You'd be a rock star, man.
Oh yeah, and then everybody would believe that. Hey man,
Yeah.
look at that. Look what he's doing.
Yeah.
That'd be different. That's what I was saying. You could make someone look like an all-star. Yeah, Robert, before I say adios here, they are watching everything we do. Even in Canada, they're watching, I still miss those family vacations. Although I will admit that the park ranger even told my dad if he wanted to smuggle something across the border to put it around his waist. He had some like pelts, some really cool. Here's a ranger, a Canadian ranger, telling my dad, he's like, "Hey, I'm not going to do that, man. I just want to get over it." He said they won't even suspect it. You're in a station wagon with your family. You're not what they're looking for. Yeah. So it's just interesting.
No.
But who would have known? And Robert even knows where Algonquin State Park is. I know he does. But Tom, thank you for sharing. As always,
Okay.
It's good to be here. And Hey, Eric, Robert, as well as my main man, um, Bryce, thank you so much for being here
Thanks
this
for all
evening.
being here. Tag
Tag,
and
like,
share this, and
and share it.
yeah,
I know tonight we was just a rant, but sometimes we like to do that. And it was live, just to let you know, it was live. This was not AI. Um, it's raining and laughter.
all right.
They
Hey,
want to
everybody,
see.
have a blessed evening.
Thank
Blessed
you.
week. Have a kick-ass week. Eric, go out and dominate.
Yeah, keep it up, Eric. I want to hear your next post. I'm going to check tomorrow. Tomorrow's better for me. If you're doing morning post, Eric Bam, I'm going to see if I can get on there and catch you.
All right. Hey, my friend, have a good evening.
You do the same.
Don't step on Gina's feet, okay?
I won't. I promise.
All right.
And thank you everybody for joining us this evening.
Got another comment here, I think.
Probably do. And it says, thank you both. Yeah. And that's
Thank you,
very
Robert.
by the man from O Canada.
Oh, Canada. Take care. God
All
bless
right.
everybody.
Okay.